Today in our 2018 Honda Odyssey, we're going to be taking a look at showing you how to install the CURT Class 2 Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number C12175. This is what our hitch looks like when it's installed. As you can see, the cross tube is visible. However, it has a nice round tube design to fit with the contour of the vehicle. It's going to be a Class 2. It's going to be 1.25 inches by 1.25 inches. Your hitch pinhole is going to be 1/2 inch in diameter. It does have a reinforced collar around the receiver tube to give a little extra stability. It has plate style safety chain loops. As you can see, it gives you plenty of room for different size safety chain hooks. It does sit nice and flush with the bumper fascia, so you don't have to worry about hitting your legs or your shins on it when loading and unloading the vehicle. However, you still have plenty of room to access your hitch pinhole. You're going to have a 350-pound max tongue weight, which is the downward pressure on the inside of the receiver tube. You're going to have a 3,500-pound max trailer weight, which is a trailer plus load included. Now, I do recommend checking your owner's manual to make sure your vehicle can withstand that amount of weight. And you're going to want to pick the lowest number between the hitch and the vehicle. Now, CURT does recommend the use of stabilization straps for any non-wheeled loads. Now let's give you a few measurements to help you when deciding on any hitch-mounted accessories you may need, such as a bike rack or cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pinhole to the outermost part of the bumper will be about 2 inches. From the ground to the top innermost part of the receiver tube will be about 14.5 inches. Now let's show you how to get this installed. First thing we need to do to begin our installation is we need to lower our exhaust. First, we need a safety strap. And you can hang it anywhere that's solid. What I like to do is hang it from the springs because they're easily accessible. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some lubrication and we're going to spray 2 rubber hangers. You're going to have one here, and you're going to have one at the center of the vehicle. Next, we're going to take a crowbar. We're going to start from the one toward the back of the vehicle, and we're going to pry it off of the metal hanger. You can lower it just a little bit. Next, we're going to have 2 plastic push pins for our exhaust deflector. We need to remove that. Take a flathead screwdriver, push right up the center. We'll pry the center out, and we'll get the whole thing. Next, here on our driver's side, we need to remove this panel. We're going to have 4 plastic push pins that we're going to need to remove. Again, flathead screwdriver, you pull down the center, you get the base too. We're going to have a Phillips screw right on the inside of the fender well. Next, we're going to have a nut right up here on the inside. You're going to use a 10mm socket. Then we'll just pull this out, set it aside for now. And here at the back of the vehicle, we're going to be using these 3 holes. You notice these 2 are weld nuts already in the frame. Always a good idea to clean the threads because they are open to the elements. You want to make sure that you don't cross thread your bolt when you're putting it in. So we'll spray a little bit of lubricant in there. We'll just take a tube brush and run it up through the weld nut just to make sure there's nothing stuck in there. And then we're going to do that on both sides of the vehicle. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pull wire, spacer block, put the spacer block on the wire. You're going to take a carriage bolt and we're going to thread it onto the end of our pull wire. We're going to do what's called a reverse pull. So we're going to stick the bolt up through this hole first, and then we'll stick our spacer block up inside and pull them back through. Then we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Now the next set of hands, we'll put our pull wire through the appropriate hole, and here on our passenger side we'll go up over the exhaust. Then we're going to take a hex bolt, conical tooth washer, teeth facing toward the hitch, and we're going to thread it into one of the holes on each side of the vehicle just to hold our hitch into place while we put it in the rest of our hardware. Now we can put our remaining hardware in. We'll have another hex bolt and conical tooth washer in the center on both sides of the vehicle. Now we can remove our pull wires and we'll add a flange nut. If you push on the bolt, it makes it a little bit easier to get the flange nut threaded on the bolt or started. Just like that. And we'll do that on the other side. We'll take an 11/16 socket and a 3/4 inch socket. 11/16 socket is going to be for our flange nuts. 3/4 inch is going to be for our hex bolts. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. Next, we'll torque all of our hardware, the specifications and the instructions. And you're going to repeat that for all remaining hardware. Now our panel that we removed from this side, if you would like to put it back in, you will need to trim off a little bit along the edge. For this application, we're not going to be putting it back in. Now we'll go ahead and get our exhaust back in place. We'll spray the hanger. We'll just slide our hangers back into place. Just like that. Once you have that done, you can remove your safety strap. And we can reinstall our exhaust deflector. Push your pin up through the hole and just push in the center. That'll do it for a look at and installation on the CURT Class 2 Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number C12175 on our 2018 Honda Odyssey.